College friends arrive at a secluded cabin, ready for a weekend of kayaking and ghost stories. Caddo Lake's beauty is shadowed by the eerie Spanish moss hanging from the cypress trees. They start unloading supplies from their vehicles, anticipation building for the adventures ahead. Friends gather in the warm light of the cabin, sharing drinks and laughter. Beneath the surface of camaraderie, tales of the ominous past of Caddo Lake and the chilling legend of the Moss Man begin to stir. An unspoken chill settles in the room as the legend of the Moss Man lingers. Mark, unsteady on his feet and intoxicated, wanders away from his friends, lured by the tranquil surface of the lake. His friends remain engrossed in their own worlds, unaware of his departure. The moonlight casts eerie shadows of cypress trees and Spanish moss, turning the landscape into a haunting tableau. Friends scour the lake shore, their hope faltering with each passing moment. A chilling sight emerges from the serene landscape. High above, Mark's body hangs suspended, a grotesque cocoon formed by Spanish moss. Horror grips their faces, a silent scream trapped in their throats. The friends rush outside, their eagerness turning to dismay as they find the boat missing. Panic flares as they desperately search for a signal, their phones offering only the cold comfort of no signal. A heavy dread descends. They are utterly isolated. The friends cautiously enter the murky swamp, their hope diminishing with each step. A sudden rustling in the reeds shatters the silence, raising their defenses. The sound moves without a splash, deepening the mystery and heightening their unease. Amidst the murky swamp, a horrifying discovery. Lisa, impaled on a cypress knee, draped in moss. Her terrified eyes reflect the swamp's grim reality. Deep in the murky swamp, Sarah and Jake, faces marked by terror, struggle through the darkness. Spanish moss sways unnaturally, hanging like ghostly shrouds. The air hangs heavy, thick with humidity and the stench of decay. Lost and disoriented, they desperately try to escape the swamp's suffocating grasp. Jake's desperate struggle ends in a heavy fall. As Sarah reaches out, thick, green moss erupts from the swamp, seizing Jake's legs. The moss tightens, dragging Jake beneath the dark surface. A strangled scream marks Jake's final descent, leaving only ripples on the water's surface. As the first rays of dawn kiss the murky swamp, Sarah, battered and bleeding, fights her way out of the dense foliage. Exhaustion and pain are etched deep into her face. A dilapidated fisherman's shack appears in the distance, igniting a flicker of hope in her weary eyes. Sarah steps into the fisherman's shack, where the horror of its secrets is immediately apparent. Moss-covered bodies line the walls, a macabre gallery of victims turned trophies. The realization dawns. The Moss Man isn't a single killer, but a dark legacy passed down through generations. Sarah screams, her terror amplified by the shack's confines. The old wooden door slams shut, imprisoning Sarah in the dim interior. Sarah's face is a mask of stark fear as she comprehends her fate. Spanish moss hangs still, as if the swamp itself holds its breath. The swamp silently claims another soul, its depths concealing secrets and sorrows. From high above, the swamp stretches out, an endless tapestry of green and shadow. Spanish moss completely drapes the fisherman's shack, a silent testament to time's relentless passage. The lake's surface reflects the faint moonlight, its tranquility soon shattered by a desperate emergence. A hand bursts from the depths, fingers reaching, grasping for salvation. The hand is violently pulled back under, disappearing as swiftly as it appeared. Silence returns, the water's surface undisturbed, concealing unseen struggles beneath. In the heart of a cozy cabin, friends gather around a weathered wooden table, bathed in the gentle glow of a lantern. Cards dance through the air as hands deal, creating a symphony of anticipation and chance. Chips clatter with each bet, adding to the lively cadence of the game. Laughter echoes through the cabin, weaving through the night. Mark steps out from the cabin into the darkness. He walks towards the lake. Under the moon's eerie glow, Mark walks along the still lake's edge, unaware of the lurking horror beneath. Thick, moss-like tendrils explode from the water, coiling around Mark's ankles with terrifying speed. He struggles against the relentless pull, the dark depths beckoning him towards an unknown fate. Morning mist clings to the lake as friends search the shoreline, their voices echoing with hope and dread. A figure floats motionless on the water's surface, triggering a wave of horror among the group. They race toward the water's edge, faces drained of color as the awful truth dawns. It's Mark. Urgency grips the cabin as the friends hastily gather their belongings. Clothes are thrown haphazardly into bags. Personal items are scattered in disarray as they ready themselves to depart. The friends trudge through the murky swamp, the humid air thick around them. Towering cypress trees draped with Spanish moss cast long, distorted shadows. They pause, looking around with growing unease. Under the suffocating cover of night, the murky swamp becomes a labyrinth of shadows and decay. Friends, their breaths ragged with terror, struggle through the knee-deep water, hunted by an unseen horror. From the depths of the swamp, the Moss Man emerges, a monstrous embodiment of the swamp itself, its eyes burning with eerie green light. In the oppressive darkness of the swamp, the air hangs heavy with decay. Lisa lies still on the muddy ground. Night falls heavily on the swamp, the air thick and still, as Jake lies motionless in the mud. At dawn, Sarah ventures into the swamp, the nascent sunlight barely cutting through the heavy fog. Through the dense fog, a dilapidated shack emerges. She stares at it. Sarah cautiously steps into the shack, the dimness concealing unseen horrors. Her eyes widen, reflecting the gruesome discovery of bodies scattered across the floor. Weak light reveals a dilapidated shack, barely resisting the elements. Without warning, Sarah is attacked by the Mossman, a creature of earth and vines. The shack stands, enveloped in a thick blanket of moss. A hand breaks the serene surface of the dark lake, reaching desperately towards the night sky. In a horrifying instant, the hand is violently yanked back into the depths, swallowed by the abyss. On the expansive lake, the friends glide through the tranquil waters. Sunlight dances on the water's surface as they paddle through the waterways. The friends gather around a crackling campfire, faces illuminated by the flickering light. Eerie shadows dance in the surrounding swamp, heightening the sense of unease. They share ghost stories, each trying to outdo the other with tales of specters. Under the cloak of night, friends wade into the murky swamp, each step heavier than the last. Flashlights slice through the oppressive darkness, briefly illuminating the swamp's hidden depths. An orchestra of croaking frogs and buzzing insects fills the air. The beams dance across gnarled trees and tangled vegetation. Under the cloak of night, the Mossman lurks, his presence unseen yet ominous. In the inky blackness of the swamp, the Mossman emerges. Its presence sends shivers down the spines of those who dare to tread its domain. The swamp exhales an odor of decay and death, the air thick and suffocating. In the oppressive darkness, the Mossman rises, a grotesque figure of vegetation and muck. With each step, the swamp trembles, its ancient secrets disturbed by the creature's relentless advance. Through the murky swamp, the friends sprint, their breaths ragged in the cool night air. Twisted trees claw at the sky, their branches draped with Spanish moss. The ground sucks at their shoes with each step. Behind them, branches snap and mud squelches, signaling the relentless pursuit of the Mossman. In the swamp's suffocating darkness, the friends cling to each other, fear consuming them. The night is alive with the swamp's ominous chorus, each croak and buzz amplifying their terror. Beneath the cloak of night, the friends engage in a tense confrontation within the murky swamp. The Mossman advances, its every move a threat in the dimly lit swamp. In the heart of the swamp, the air is thick with the stench of stagnant water, and the friends find themselves ensnared in the swamp's muddy embrace. Their faces, pale under the dim moonlight, mirror the despair that grips their hearts. Each breath is a struggle, a testament to their fading strength as they battle the swamp's relentless pull. Police officers cautiously navigate the muddy swamp, the air thick with humidity. Yellow tape shimmers in the sunlight, marking off a section of the swamp. In the murky swamp, police officers struggle through the water, the oppressive humidity thick with the stench of decay. They search relentlessly, seeking the lost among the shadows and mire. Police officers wade into the murky swamp, the oppressive humidity clinging to them. Their grim faces scan the dense foliage, searching for any sign. The air buzzes with insects, a symphony of nature's disquiet. In the swamp, police officers stand around, their faces etched with defeat. The search is called off, and a heavy rain begins to fall, mirroring their despair. The rain intensifies, as the officers silently acknowledge the futility of their efforts. The Mossman stands motionless in the swamp, shrouded by the night. The swamp silently continues its grim work. Spanish moss sways in the night wind. The lake lies in perfect stillness, reflecting the quiet of the night. Under the eerie glow of the full moon, the lake's still water mirrors the night sky. Mist clings to the gnarled branches of ancient trees, their shadows dancing in the heavy air. Whispers of the Mossman echo through the night. A new group of friends arrives at the lakeside cabin. The cycle begins again,